Hello, good evening and welcome to Wednesday's Midlands Today from the BBC. Tonight, months after a £300 million regeneration scheme in Wolverhampton collapsed, plans have been given the go-ahead to try to halt the decline of one part of the city. The council will now make £13 million available for the redevelopment of the Summer Row shopping area.
Other regeneration schemes across the region have been affected by the economic downturn. However, many seem to have weathered the storm. In Telford, a £250 million redevelopment of the town centre is underway. In Dudley, a £6 million plan to transform the market area is still going ahead. And in Coventry, the council is confident that a £1 billion redevelopment scheme at the city centre will happen. Ben Godfrey's been in Wolverhampton finding out if the new plans for Summer Row are good news.
Summer Row should have been the biggest retail development in Wolverhampton in generations. But by the time investors pulled out of the £300 million project, many traders had either moved out or were left in limbo over compulsory purchase orders.
The uncertainty has just really been too much for us. And obviously our customers would like to know that all the shops are going to be here as well. But I think from a personal point of view, the worry and the stress has really come to a head, and now something is going to be done. We're really hoping that that's going to help us all.
4 months after the project collapsed, Wolverhampton City Council says urgent interventions needed, with £13 million of regeneration. Just don't call it Summer Row. The authority prefers the name Southside to get away from the stigma of failure. We're told that much of that £13 million will be spent on buying and renovating dilapidated buildings. There'll also be improved signage, improved landscaping and lighting. And finally, new and existing businesses will get the offer of support grants.
I would love it to be 300 million, but we have to be realistic. 13.4 is a good start. Businesses are impatient for something that happened in the city that will rejuvenate it. So this is welcome, but there is that impatience there.
And here's the but. The council's own report suggests the Southside investment may mean some developments in the city become unaffordable. The local authority is trying to save £60 million over 5 years, with hundreds of posts under threat.
You just can't leave it like this.
No. So where exactly are you finding the funding?
The funding is coming from reserves. Like all large organisations, we've got reserves we have to by law. And how we use them is a very difficult decision. This is an urgent need for the local traders here and for the people of Wolverhampton. We want to make this a more attractive place for people to come and shop and to use.
Investment is coming back to Wolverhampton. Today we found the city's bus station nearing completion and the start of demolition work at Molineux, phase 1 of a new stadium. But for many, it's the support on offer for small businesses that's the true test of the city's ambition. Ben Godfrey, BBC Midlands Today, Wolverhampton.
Earlier this afternoon, I spoke to Henry Carver, who's chair of the Wolverhampton Business Group, which was formed to help regenerate the city and fight against red tape. What did he think of the announcement?
Any new money that's going to be spent in Summer Row has to be good news. But I think the critical thing is, given the history of Summer Row and how much money has been wasted and how many promises have been broken, why we formed the Wolverhampton Business Group is that we want the councillors to talk to us, talk to established businessmen, just to make sure these plans are viable and lead to regeneration, jobs and investment.
You're saying they haven't talked to you then?
Not at this point, no. But they've only just announced the budget. I guess it's the detail that hopefully they will be speaking to us.
Well, what do you think of the budget? Because they were talking about 300 million before, now it's 13.
Well, 13 is a huge come down from 300. The council were never going to put in 300, but what we believe they need to do is to buy up a whole clump of land to make enough land available to be attractive to a commercial developer. There's nothing worse than if you don't have the land available and then there's ransom strips. They need to sort all that out this time for a commercial developer.
So you're obviously fairly sceptical about this?
Well, we don't know the details of the plans. All we've heard is 13 million. I don't know whether that's enough to buy the land that would be necessary to make it viable. We just need to know more about it.
At least it's a start.
It's a start, and 13 million is better than nothing.
It's a pretty dismal area at the moment, isn't it?
We've got one of the highest empty shops in the country. But, you know, we don't need to be bottom. We don't need to be bottom. We're in the logistics centre of the country. We've got beautiful areas around Wolverhampton. it's only poor decision making over a generation that's got us where we are.
OK, Henry Carver, thank you.
Thank you.
And you can hear the very latest on this on Phil Upton's Breakfast Show on BBC WM tomorrow morning.
Thanks very much for your company this Wednesday evening. Coming up,